this the best you can do for dinner? God damn it, I work all day, and this is all I get?
Sit up straight.
What
you are seeing is a scene from a psychodrama.
That shirt. How did you rip it?
Sit up straight.
We heard from the teacher today. You were screwing up, Bobby. You were screwing up, Bobby. Damn it! Why did you screw up?
Psychodrama was evolved by J.L. Moreno, a psychiatrist trained in the traditional manner at the University of Vienna. Moreno defines psychodrama as the science which explores the human psyche through dramatic action. Here at the Camelback Hospitals and Western Institute for Psychodrama, we use classic psychodrama and action methods with psychiatric patients and students in training. This is an actual psychodrama session directed by Elaine Eller Goldman and videotaped during a training seminar at the Camelback Hospital Western Institute Theater with the permission of the participants in November of 1987. The psychodramatic spiral is a visual aid that enables us to track the session from the periphery to the core as we move from the outer surfaces or armor of the protagonist to his inner core of sensibility. The spiral becomes the map of the session. The term scene designates the time and place we are reproducing in the session. This includes an action sociogram, a fragment of time and space, or any specific segment. The empty chair warm-up produced a protagonist who is a recovering alcoholic. He is depressed and classically has great difficulty in identifying and expressing emotions. We always begin with a scene in the present. The protagonist, Bob, begins by setting a recent scene that is representative of this problem in order to anchor us in time, space, and reality. This is a warm-up to the scene for the protagonist, director, the auxiliaries, and the group.
Is there any object in this room or in the whole house that's really very special to you, very important to you? Sometimes, you know, we have things on the walls or objects around that are real important. What might be here that's important to you, Bob?
It's just a little statue that I painted a long time ago.
Oh, where is it?
It's in the kitchen.
Let's go in the kitchen and find it. Where is it here?
We always ask if there is a significant object in the scene. This object can sometimes be symbolically important in the session.
And if you could put into a few words what's significant about that boy with the basket of grapes to you?
12.
It's okay.
The significant object often creatively places the protagonist in touch with others, the past, a forgotten strength, or his own potential.
Who's going to be in this scene?
Girlfriend.
Your girlfriend. Who lives in this house?
I do.
You do. Alone, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to ask you to look out there and pick someone to be your girlfriend. Simone, will you help us? And that's what we call choosing an auxiliary ego to represent the significant other in your life. Mm-hmm. What does your girlfriend look like?
Simone.
Like Simone, that's helpful. Mm-hmm. Well, how old is she?
27.
27. How old are you?
43.
43. What does she do for a living?
Yeah, she works. She's a marketing.
A marketing rep? If you had only 2 words to describe her whole personality, what would those 2 words be?
Alone. Confused.
A word or 2 for to describe your relationship.
Confused. And for me, fear.
Mm-hmm. And the fear is?
Her knowing who I am.
The use of these limited descriptions in place of the traditional role reversal to introduce the auxiliaries is one of our techniques for focusing. These techniques were developed through our extensive work with hospitalized patients.
Put your body in the shape of how you're feeling. Mm-hmm. That's right. And emphasize that as much as possible. Good. And then speak from that. I feel?
Fear.
Fear. The thing I'm most afraid of is?
You'll know all about it.
All right, now we're going to play the scene, Bob. You can relax. We're going to play the scene. We're going to do the best we can. If the words are not exact, but the feeling is there, you let it go on, okay? If it's all wrong, you tell us, and we have ways of changing it. So you just begin, talk to her, do whatever you're doing here.
We were discussing.
Yeah, go. Don't tell me. Just go ahead and do it. Discuss.
Oh, that's hard. I like you, but I don't want to be in a relationship.
You keep confusing me. I never know what to expect. It makes me angry.
That close?
The auxiliary plays the scene to the best of her ability, but the director must check out the reality with the protagonist.
I respond to her.
I can't help that, but I do like you an awful lot, and it's just hard for me to talk about a lot of feelings. I get scared when I allow you to get close.
Here, by getting the main or underlying message of the significant other, we can focus on the essence of the scene and the protagonist's process.
If she had a message for you, whether she says it or not, what do you suppose the message she's giving you is?
Go ahead and risk.
Go ahead and risk. Do something. Go ahead and risk.
When I hear that, it makes me feel,
Just afraid.
show me the fear with your whole body.
Go ahead and risk. Bob, do something. Risk yourself.
Duh.
No. You kind of jump when you hear that, huh? Makes you feel
Just afraid.
afraid of.
She won't like me.
She won't like me. So I'm not going to risk it, huh?
No.
And then what happens with the relationship when you don't risk it?
She goes away.
Open your eyes. Look at the other side of the bed. So when the person goes away, I feel
Lonely.
lonely. Yeah, that's one of the things you mentioned early on. Lonely and abandoned, huh? Leaves you kind of stuck, huh?
Yeah.
This is a transition point where we need to see another time and place when the protagonist has these same feelings of loneliness and abandonment and keeps himself stuck.
Stand up, dear. How often does that happen to you?
Quite a bit.
What's quite a bit?
In every relationship, really.
We choose to see each of his relationships in action sociograms. An action sociogram is a symbolic representation of the protagonist's social atom, often the family. People are placed so that space, body, facial expressions, and main messages indicate the dynamics of those individuals at that time. He shows us his second marriage to a woman who has 2 children of her own.
Okay, would you be in your place? Thank you. Be in your place and put your body exactly the way it is. Now again, this isn't exactly the way it happens in life, but in psychodrama we want to focus in and intensify. So I want you to get the sense of what this marriage is like. Okay?
You're crazy. I can't depend on you. I don't know from one minute to the next what's going to happen.
I hate you.
I'm so scared, but I want something. I need something.
You respond to any of them, however you do.
I don't express the feelings.
Well, I know you don't, so you just stay here, but just do whatever you do.
I'm so scared. I'm so confused, but I want something.
hate you.
I need you. I need
You're
you.
crazy. You
I
are
need
crazy.
You. I need
Get
you. I
straight.
need you.
Stop
I need you.
playing
I'm so
yourself.
scared. I
Crazy.
need you.
And I feel,
Lonely.
yeah. So I run away and I feel lonely. So lonely that again the pain comes. Well, how come I run away?
I can't say how I feel.
I can't or I won't.
I won't.
I won't say how I feel.
The director knows that the protagonist is a recovering alcoholic and must learn where his alcoholism fits into his process.
So when this happens, when you get lonely and don't say how you feel, what do?
Walk away.
And?
Stuff it.
And? When do you drink?
When I do that.
When you do that. That's when you drink. I want you to do that. Start drinking. Thank you. Just start drinking. And keep drinking. And then show me with your whole body what happens when you really have had enough to drink. Keep drinking. Keep drinking. You know how much you drink. Keep drinking. What do you drink?
Anything.
Anything I can get. Mostly what?
Beer,
Beer, what else?
scotch.
Scotch? Okay, I want you to
Wine.
drink it. Keep drinking the scotch. Keep drinking, keep drinking, keep drinking, keep drinking. And now freeze and tell me how you feel.
I'm just alone and afraid.
I'm afraid, I'm alone, afraid. Who divorced who in this marriage?
She divorced me.
She divorced me, yeah. And there you are again, huh? Alone. Yeah. And the way I feel about myself is?
It's been worthless.
Could you show me that with your whole body, worthless, what it's like for Bob to be worthless? Put your whole body in the position of worthless and emphasize that as much as you can.
Body work is another form of focusing.
I feel
Worthless.
worthless and
Alone.
alone. Anything else?
Just fear.
Just fear. What am I afraid of here?
Just who I am.
Note the repeated theme of his fear of showing who he is. We now move to a sociogram of his first wife that includes his daughter and his son, Bob.
Who's the oldest?
Bob.
Bob. How old is he?
At the time,
Yes, at the time of the marriage.
what I wanted to do was probably 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Is that when it's kind of the worst here in this marriage?
Right,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what we want to see. He's 6 or 7. What's he look like?
He's got curly hair. Looks exactly like I do.
2 words to describe what kind of a kid he is.
Trouble.
Trouble. What does that mean, trouble?
Just into things.
Into things. What kind of things?
Anything. I mean, he just
Anything.
got into
Yeah, so what
anything.
happens when he gets into things?
He got in trouble.
Yeah, with who?
Me.
You. Yeah. Are you drinking now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a word or two to describe your relationship with him. He's 6.
Nothing.
This information connects with all of his other relationships and how he keeps himself closed off and fearful. We use a sociogram again to see the dynamics of this family.
I want you again to get the sense of this family.
Talk to me.
I can't.
Talk to me.
I can't.
Talk to me. Love me, Daddy. Don't you love me?
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
Love me, Daddy.
Just get away.
I need you, Daddy.
Talk to
Go
me.
away.
Talk to me.
Love me, Daddy.
Talk to me.
Why are you doing
Talk to me.
I can't.
I feel. I'm telling them to go away. How do I really feel?
Feel crazy.
Do that again with your hand. What is this hand saying?
I don't know what to do.
Love me, Dad.
Please talk to me.
I don't
Why
know
are you
what,
doing this to me?
what to say.
Say it again.
I don't know what to say.
Say it again.
I don't know what to say.
Bob, look at me. You do know what to say, don't you? Don't you? Yeah. Thank you. I bet you do know what to say, huh? What happens to the words? What happens to the feelings with you?
I just can't express them. I'm not allowed to.
Yeah. Say that again.
I'm not allowed to.
Who? Who said you're not allowed to?
My mother.
When you're this age? When you're 26?
Yeah.
Even when you're 26, huh?
No.
Have you got a scene you can think of with your mother when you're 26, where we can see what goes on with you and mother when you're 26 years old?
This transition comes from the cue that he is not allowed to express his feelings at this age. So we go to a 26-year-old scene with mother.
Is there any object in this room or in this whole house that's special to you, Bob, now you're 26 years old?
No.
Nothing, huh? Stand in the middle of this room for a minute and close your eyes. And I want you to get the sense of this house in Tempe. You're 26 years old. If you could put a word to the feeling in this house, would you do that, please?
Shit. It's terrible.
What's terrible?
It's crazy.
We learn that father died when Bob was 20. Mother is described as a bitch and controlling, and their relationship is nothing. Again, note the continued absence of emotional connection and the use of the term nothing to describe his relationships.
All right, now again, we're going to do the best we can. If the words are not exact but the feeling is there, we'll let it go on. Are you talking about anything in particular?
No, she just talks about why do you have this size house?
Don't tell me too much. I just needed to know it.
I don't know why you have a house like this. You don't need a house like this. You should be doing something else with your money. Why do you have a place like this? It's not what you need.
Is that close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not what you need. I don't understand you. I've never understood you. You just don't get it. You don't do it right.
And that makes me feel?
Shame.
Show me the shame. Mm-hmm. If Mother had a message for you, whether it's in this scene or generally, that makes you feel shame, what do you suppose her message is?
You're worthless.
You are worthless. You don't ever do it right.
Now, are you drinking now?
Yeah.
Does Mother know about it?
Yeah.
And how does she feel about that?
She doesn't say anything.
But you know I'm disgusted with you.
Yeah, there's something underneath the not saying anything, huh?
Yeah, because Dad was always drinking.
Dad was always drinking.
I went through it all of my life. And now you of all people, I'm disgusted with you.
And you show me how ashamed you are with your whole body. With your whole body.
I always told you were bad, and you are bad.
Mm-hmm.
You turned out to be just exactly what I thought you'd turn out to be.
And you feel?
She's worthless.
Worthless. Would you say that exactly the way you feel it? I want to hear the whole tone of voice. Say that how it really feels.
Worthless.
Say it again.
Worthless.
Again.
Worthless.
How old is that kid?
Just real young.
How old?
Just a baby.
Hmm?
He's just a baby.
He's a baby. How old is he? How old is that little boy that feels worthless?
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Here, a transition to the 6-year-old scene because of his feelings of worthlessness and Mother's criticism. Once again, note the absence of significant objects throughout, and how the protagonist feels empty and alone, and how he backs away both symbolically and physically from feelings and memories.
Okay, this is the dining room or the kitchen?
Dining room.
Dining room. Mm-hmm. Any object in this dining room or in the whole house that the 6-year-old, is that what they call you, Bob?
Bobby.
Bobby. Is there anything in this whole house that is important to 6-year-old Bobby? It's real special to you? You might keep it in your room or something?
Mm-mm.
Nothing?
No.
You don't have anything? No special toy or anything? You're 6 years old?
No, because nothing was special.
Nothing was
It's all
special.
taken away, or
It was all taken away. Who takes it away?
Dad.
Well, listen, stand over here in the house for a minute and close your eyes and get the sense of this house. Where is it? Now, you're backing out of the house already, huh? Yeah, where is this house?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Take a minute. I know that's hard to be back there, but I want you back in Pennsylvania, 6-year-old Bobby. And I want you to get the sense of this house where everything is taken away. And if you could put a word to the feeling in this house, please do that.
Oh, I don't know if a word that can describe it.
Well, try. You can use more than one. It feels
Alone.
alone. Mm-hmm.
Alone.
Alone. Okay.
Just
Open
alone,
your eyes.
alone.
Who's going to be in the scene?
Dad, Mom.
Dad and Mom. Anybody else live here besides the 3 of you?
No.
Okay. Would you choose someone to be Dad? We have Mom.
Rob.
Rob, will you help us? Mm-hmm. What's Dad look like?
I gotta stay behind you.
That's okay. That's okay. Nothing's going to happen here. What's he look like?
He's just real stern. And,
Real stern? Big, small? I mean, he must be big if you're 6.
about
but
Rob's size.
About Rob's size. How old is he when you're 6?
Probably 40.
40?
38, 40.
38 or 40? What does he do for a living?
He's an attorney working for Sears.
An attorney? If you had 2 words to describe Dad's whole personality, what would they be?
Bastard and hate.
Bastard and hate. Does that mean he hates people?
Everything.
He hates
and
himself and everything. And he drinks, I assume. What does phew mean? How much?
A lot.
A lot,
Every
huh?
night, every
Every night. And when he drinks, what happens? Does he get loud, violent? What happens?
He just picks on me.
He picks on you. How about Mom? Does he pick on her?
Starts to and then moves to me.
Okay, we're going to get Mom back. A word or two for your relationship with Dad. You're 6 years old.
I hate him.
I hate him. That's how you feel. That doesn't describe the relationship. Is there one?
No.
So if you had to describe it, how would you describe it?
Blank.
Blank.
0.
0.
Remember Scene 3 with Bob's first wife and children and how he described his relationship with his son.
He's 6.
Nothing.
Turn around, they're not going to hear us. If you had to describe Mom and Dad's relationship in a couple of words, how would you describe it?
0.
0, so there's nothing there either, huh?
Cold.
Cold.
A play. Forced.
Forced. Where are you in the scene?
Here.
Would you sit there, please? Now, I have to get you to be 6 years old. That's going to take me a minute, huh?
No.
Yeah. I want you to show me with your body, not the way you sit at 6 years old, but what it feels like to be 6-year-old Bobby in this family. So don't speak, just show me with your whole body.
Traditionally, we use additional structure to warm the protagonist up to an early age. It was unnecessary here, since he was already in the role of the 6-year-old.
You're 6 years old. What do you hate the most in your whole life?
Going home.
Going home. Going home because?
It's terrible.
It's terrible there. What's terrible?
I can't do anything
You
right.
can't do anything right. Yeah. Well, turn around. We're going to have dinner here. And again, we're going to do the best we can. If the words are not exact, but the feeling is there, you let it go on. If it's all wrong, you tell us. You start eating, Bobby.
Sit up straight. Sit up straight. Straighter than that.
What's the best you can do for dinner? God damn it, I work all day, and this is all I get?
Sit up straight.
Bob, how'd you rip your shirt, damn it? We just bought that shirt. How did you rip it? We heard from the teacher today. You were screwing up, Bobby. You were screwing up, Bobby. Damn it, why did you screw up? You are just a screw up, Bobby. We buy you clothes. Why do you do that stuff, Bobby? Why do you do that? I can never depend on you. I just want you to...
I feel. I feel what?
It's terrible.
Terrible. What else? What else?
Just alone.
Alone? Are you scared, Bobby?
Yes.
Tell me how scared you are.
Just want to run away.
So you really get scared, huh? Do you have any other feelings, Bobby? Do you ever have any other feelings?
Anger.
Anger. Oh, I know you're only 6, but could you show me those angry feelings with your whole body, please? Yeah, and really feel them. Really feel them. If those fists could talk, what would they say? What would they say, Bobby?
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you. Yeah, but there's a lot of tears in that too, huh?
Yeah.
Because his grief and fear are so prevalent, he has difficulty expressing his anger and collapses in tears here, as he has at other times in the session. Eventually, he is able to identify the anger as a knot in his stomach, and we physicalize this to help him be in touch with it.
And that's the knot that makes you drink, right? And the knot that makes all the relationships go, right, no good. Right. Goodbye, goodbye, leave you alone. How much longer you want to keep that knot, Bob?
I don't.
Okay, I want you to get the knot out. I want you to show me how you can get the knot out, right there. And put a word to it. Come on, put a word to it.
No way! No way! Go away. Go. Get out of here.
Yeah. Okay, take a minute, take a deep breath.
We then help him focus on his anger at himself for drinking and his own responsibility in all of his relationships. This then becomes a catharsis of integration.
Show me with your body what that's like. Show me with your body what the anger at yourself is like. Let's get rid of that too so it won't stop you anymore. Let's get rid of that.
Stop it. Damn it. Stop. Close it up. Stop. Close it up. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Ooh. Breathe in. Breathe in. In, hold it, now blow it out real easy through your mouth. Real easy. And do it again. Breathe in. Breathe in. Hold it, blow it out through your mouth. Easy. One more. In. Hold it, blow it out through your mouth.
After the release of the unfamiliar deep emotions, we help him to breathe both physically and emotionally.
That's it.
This will enable him to return to the reality of the present and continue with the session.
That's a lot of stuff to be in there, huh? And a lot of stuff to keep blocking off, huh? Either stuffing or putting a wash in booze, huh? Yeah. Okay, we're going to show you some things.
We now mirror for Bob the significant scenes that show his process. First, the 6-year-old scene, then each of his marriages, then the present relationship.
Now I want you to first know the way this kid described the relationship with the father.
0. Nothing.
And with mother?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Now watch what happens to this family with the reason he doesn't have a relationship. Okay.
You screwed up at school again, damn it, Bobby. Can't you do anything right? Can't you do anything right, Bobby?
Watch what he does. Watch this boy. He hides. He runs away. So he learns very quick, huh?
Yeah.
He learns very early on how to do that.
Now, the mirror of his first marriage.
Love me, Dad. Don't you love me, Dad?
Why are you doing this to me?
Look at this kid. Look at this 6-year-old boy. He's just like you. Watch this.
Bob, talk to me. Please, talk to me, Bob. Talk to me. Please, talk to me, Bobby.
He's drinking, and he says,
Go away.
Bobby, please.
Go away.
Bobby.
okay, go away.
Why are you doing this?
Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Watch this guy. He tells him to go away. Watch what happens to him. How are you feeling?
Lonely.
Kind of dichotomy, right? He pushes him away, then he says, I'm lonely.
Next, a mirror of the second marriage.
Now listen to their messages.
You're crazy.
I hate you.
I'm so scared, but I need you, I need you.
I can't depend on you. You're so crazy.
you.
Hate you.
They go away. How do you feel?
Lonely.
Yeah. Then he keeps drinking. And how's he behaving? Just like who?
Dad.
Just like Dad. What'd you promise yourself when you were a kid? That you wouldn't be like him, right? Right. And although you're not your father and you're not your mother, you've been doing some stuff like your mother. You may not be outwardly as verbally mean and cold, but what do you suppose this guy does when he turns away from his own children?
Abandons him.
He abandons them like Mom did to him. Yeah. And then what happens to him? He feels
Lonely.
lonely. Thank you. Now, my friend, when you're a kid and you learn that, and that becomes your process, that's what you do. So now we know that. But you're not a kid anymore.
The next step is the concretization. This is where all the threads of the session, the pieces of the puzzle, come together. The final concretization is developed from the protagonist's own symbols. We are coming full circle, back to the present. The protagonist is no longer a child without the control of his life. He is responsible for himself and his own actions in the present. Bob describes the way he would like to be, and we have him show us this possible Bob.
So if you could show me that guy, the guy who's going back to school, who's not drinking, who volunteers, who's going to be a counselor, will you show me with your whole body what he looks like? With your whole body. And then you say, I am the Bob that...
I'm the Bob that's free and happy.
And happy and knows how to...
Live and enjoy and love.
And love, except he needs to learn how to share his feelings yet, right? So that's a guy that you can be, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Instead of this, I'll show you how he is most of the time. I mean, that's not what everybody sees, but this is how he is inside, right?
Yeah.
6 years old, afraid of his mother. If you had a symbol or an image or something of how you, Bob, keep yourself from being the guy you can be, from sharing your feelings in intimate relationships, from being free, what would that look like?
I just turn away.
Bob states that he turns away, and he describes his symbol as a wall, which we then concretize.
Is it bigger than that or wider or what?
It's just as tall as I am.
It's just as tall as you are.
But I can see through
You
it.
can see through it, but you peek once in a while, huh?
Yeah.
Now listen, what's that wall made of?
All the pain,
All the pain, what else?
all the feelings.
All the feelings. Yeah.
I just keep it there.
You
so they
just
don't
keep
get
it
through.
there. What's on the other side of the wall?
Freedom.
Freedom. Who else might be over there on the other side of the wall?
Everybody.
Everybody. You really mean everybody? I mean a lot of different people?
Yeah.
Like the world, huh? Yeah. Well, I'm going to draw an imaginary line right here. And I want some people to be the world on that side of the line. And just walk around. Just walk back and forth, people. They're on the other side of the line. Now, they can't cross over the line because that's like your wall. You're the only one that can go over. But first, what we have here is the wall you built of pain, fear. It's your stuff, not your mother's, not your father's. It's your garbage.
Right.
And you got to decide what you'd like to do with that.
Don't cross up. Don't. No, it's too afraid. It's too scary. You might get hurt. You might get hurt.
Give me the wall.
In a minute.
I want it.
What are you going to do instead? You're
Gonna go wrist.
No, you're going to go over there. It's going to be too frightening. No, don't go. Don't go. You might get hurt.
We have come almost full circle at this point, back to the present and the responsibility of the protagonist for himself. Whenever possible, we come full circle to the original problem we have been tracking. This is best done by returning to the first scene or first indication of the primary problem and reenacting that scene with the protagonist using new insights and responsibilities. This becomes role training.
Remember early on we talked about warm-up, how people warm up to things? Do you remember how you warm up to a scene with this girl when you know she's going to want a commitment or something? Do you have any, remember how you warm up at all?
How I used to warm up?
Yeah. Show me with your, but just walk back and forth here. Show me with the pace of your body, your walk, any way you can, how you used to warm up when you thought anybody was going to ask you to share your feelings or make a commitment or do anything with your whole body. And then start to talk when you can feel it. I feel...
Like running.
I feel like running. When she says something, what I'm going to do is...
Shut down and not say anything.
Shut down and not say anything because...
She'll know who I am.
She'll know who I am. Okay, freeze. So if that's how you warmed up, you know what happened, right? So we have to have a new warm-up now, right?
Yeah.
I want you to give yourself a new warm-up. I want you to walk before you go into the scene, and I want you to walk here and show me by the pace of your body, your walk, any way you can, what your new warm-up is going to be. What the free Bob's new warm-up is going to be. Take your time. Start to walk whenever you're ready. And make it real. I don't want you to say anything that you're not ready to say, because it's new. And when you can feel it, then speak aloud. I feel...
Okay to be vulnerable.
It's okay to be vulnerable. And the way I'm warming up to this is...
Allowing myself to get close.
Allowing myself to get close. It might be scary, you know. It's new. It might be frightening. Okay, walk into the scene.
I'm willing to tell you who I am. And I'm going to risk just being open, not run away.
What do you want from this relationship?
I just want it to be loving and free.
And if I had to tell you one real important thing about who I am, would you tell her that now?
I have fears.
I have fears. Tell her so she can hear you, pal.
I have fears. And I get alone. I get lonely. And I get afraid. Sometimes I'm afraid to tell you who I am. I'll tell you anyhow.
Okay. No more talk. Show me non-verbally how close you want to be.
The action portion has concluded for the protagonist. The director returns the protagonist to the group for the sharing portion. The group is asked to share from their own lives, their own feelings, as they relate to the experience of the protagonist. We began with his presenting problem of difficulty in identifying and expressing his emotions. We saw how this affects his current relationship and found the similarities of his process of escaping through alcohol and withdrawing in his previous marriages. We discovered the linkages to his childhood. He achieved a catharsis of both tears and anger. Through the use of mirrors, we helped him to understand his process in life. We concretized the issues, choices, and actions that have kept him dysfunctional in life. And through the role training, we helped him to integrate his feelings and thoughts. It is through the action of the session that closure and healing has been achieved so that he can act out in life what has been learned in the session.